It's like Space Mountain. It's like boom, boom, boom.
You know, I really liked the Red Hot Chili Peppers Space Mountain overlay.
I've never gone to any of the special cool stuff like that, or I've never like experienced it. I just went to grad night, which is pretty dope, not gonna lie.
Riley comes in. Angel City on the board.
Corner kick presented by Cedars-Sinai. Shifty work into the box. And across, it's in! Oh, it's LaRue! It's a dream return!
Hi everyone, welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City match preview pod and a footy therapy pod featuring two podcast-certified footy therapists. Sup? I'm your host, Angela Morales, with my summer camp enlisting, ever-accommodating co-host, Mario Salazar.
You know, we love doing these, and we have our schedule, but life is life. And so, you know, we accommodate each other best way we can. And luckily, we have a window now of a schedule of when we can do this. So
the best part is almost every week for the last 2 months, it's been, hey, can we record on Tuesday from one of us for a variety of reasons. So hi from Tuesday, everyone. Hi from yesterday.
You'll be hearing this on Wednesday. So
Ooh.
yeah, or, you know, whenever in the future you hear this, but we are recording on Tuesday night. So we are recording our special preview episode. Not special. We do this every week, but
hey, it's special.
Each
let
one
it
is special
let it
to
live.
us.
Let it breathe.
We're recording our match preview for Sunday, the 30th. Angel City versus the Seattle Reign. They're coming down to BMO Stadium. The match is going to be at 5 p.m. because it's a Sunday match. The broadcast schedule is going to be on our not so favorite CBS network, the CBS Sports Network. So you definitely
Why you
have
need to
have,
go.
Yeah, that's why you got to be at the stadium. You definitely have to have a cable subscription to see that one. You can't even get it like as part of a streaming package or anything like that.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, it's stupid. Or you can always listen to iHeartRadio and our besties, Isaac and Tracy. We just love listening to them, and they always make it so fun. So, you know, give them a listen instead of CBS Sports Network if you can't really get to it. So CBS Sports Network means you go to the game or you find a bar, because that is definitely a channel that the bar will have.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not showing it, make them show it.
Especially right now because it's March Madness. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Early rounds are on CBS Sports Network.
Okay,
for the men.
So there you go. They'll have it. You can have them change it. Like, they can't give you any excuses. Is bullshit if they
Exactly.
do.
And
So,
the cool thing, on Sunday, the women's March Madness games are at 10 and 12, so you will not miss them. You can go watch them. You can watch them from home and then still come to the game. We have, I think there's 3 sets of tickets I know of that are up for sale right now in sections 126, 128, and 227. So hit us up if you need tickets.
yeah.
We know people who are selling them, and a lot of it is, those are our regular seats. We upgraded for a special family event or something like that. So they'll still be there, just sitting somewhere else. Cough, cough, Vero.
All right. Vero, well, sorry, Vero's mom. We already cussed on the episode. So. But Sunday is going to be a special night. It is Women's History Celebration. They're actually going to have a dedication for a couple of legendary U.S. women's national team players. Now, at the time when I got the information, they still haven't fully announced who it's going to be.
They mentioned investors of Angel City and women's national team
investors.
Folks. So we can narrow it down a little bit.
We can narrow it down. We know Mia Hamm's going to be part of that. Siska, I always screw up her name. She does the
3 things that fish used to do. Yeah.
There was a really cool video of a couple of
the 99ers
national team players, the 99ers walking through the
Yeah, the training
facility, which was pretty cool. So check out the Angel City social media, and that was a really cool video of them just kind of like geeking out at like the new facility. And
they're like, imagine what we could have had.
Yeah.
How good they were, and yet how much better they still could have been with like a training facility. It's such a wild concept. Like you look at that team.
There was a comment in one of them was like, they have an ice room.
Yeah.
Our ice room was like the hotel
ice machine,
ice machine or something.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, you look at like Michelle Akers, who essentially has like no knee left in either knee. She's like a gazillion surgeries, a bunch of concussions. Like, there's so much that those players went through to see, like, to get the game to where we have it today.
Yeah,
that I wish, like, that's the one thing I wish was different, is that they had like accommodations and training facilities and like hotels. Didn't have to drive themselves to games. Got paid, whatever. But that's asking too much.
I mean, they definitely paved the way, both fortunately and unfortunately, right?
Yes.
Like, sucks that they had to, but
glad they did.
Glad they did. So, there will be special dedication. So get there early. Little Birdie is kind of telling us that the green lot may be open by this next match. So parking might be a skosh better.
A skosh meaning like 3,000% better.
Well, I'm not going to give.
I mean, parking is never
credit.
Great, right?
Yeah.
Like it's always a little bit of a shit show. But the green lot, my favorite lot, if you will, is fantastic. And if you are in the South Bay area and want to zoom from BMO to Hermosa, Eva's playing at St. Roch that night, so she won't be at the game, but she'll be playing. My mom and I are like, the second the whistle blows, booking it. We got places to be. And she'll be going on after, like, you have time to get from BMO, even with the traffic, to St. Roch. Easy peasy.
And, kind of on that, our good friends, Jax at Watch Me Sports Bar was in Long Beach, has posted up the fact that they are going to be doing a party bus from Long Beach. So if you're down in the LBC area, in the South Bay, and the, just down south, if you're over there and you want to just have a good time, check out the Watch Me website, social media. They have all the information there. They have a party bus. Your paid ticket to reserve your spot, I believe, comes with like a drink,
some kind of food thing, a raffle. Like there's stuff included.
Much. It's not just. It's not like it's not like you're paying that one ticket to get onto the bus to Vegas, and it's just like you get nothing but
but the
one ticket. But the transportation. This is going to be a fun party bus. It sounds like there's going to be merriment, and
so there's pre
drinks.
And post game. I just pulled it up on Instagram. Pre and post game drink specials. They may also already be sold out.
Doesn't matter. Go check it out.
Yeah, they'll probably have all kinds of secret surprises that you're not going to know about until you're on the bus. It's going to be a party regardless. 1, it's a party bus. 2, it's Watch Me. 3, it's Angel City. Like that's a rager at this point.
And then you don't have to drive. They'll take you to the stadium after the whistle. There's about like 30 minutes after, then they'll start heading back, and then you can
hang out at Watch Me.
Hang out, have another drink at Watch Me. Enjoy the fact that you didn't have to sit in traffic by yourself. So go check them out, and if there's some spots and you're down in the area, give it a shot. I mean, sounds like fun. They're also doing it for the U.S. Women's National Team versus Brazil match too.
And if anybody's going to that, let us know, because Eva and I will be there, and it'll be a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what we're talking about today.
So many things. So we have like a little random banter section in our notes, and I know Mario's like, what in the heck is what I put? So first of all, I want to send a big shout out to Katie for having the brilliant idea of activating the voice channel on the Discord during the game last week. So Friday, when Angel City was playing Portland, Katie was like, yo, what if we all jump on the voice channel? Like video, non-video doesn't matter. Like let's just hang out and talk during the game. Honestly, this is the best night of my life. Like it was so much fun. It was so silly. So much shit talking of just like random stuff. I'm like, man, I'm the best cook on the planet as I'm like eating dinner. We talked, like we were showing each other our Legos. Like everybody was just like having fun and watching the game and being like, oh my God. And like you heard the delay. Like it was just so good. Because then we realized 2 different people were on a delay and it was like, don't spoil it. So it was just like, like you got that, like everybody.
Hold your excitement for 2 seconds.
Yeah. Like, okay, there we go. Like, no, it was a super blast. I think we're going to try and do it for just about every away game, or when folks can't make it to a game, jump on there. Like it's just a good time.
Yeah. I was able to jump,
You're 1%.
because the game was on a Friday. I was able to jump in the second half onto the Discord. Prime time and bedtime is at the same time, so took priority to make sure that the kids were going to be put to go to bed and everything was all set. And then I went outside, jumped on the Discord, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So come join the Discord, and we'll have some more fun watch-alongs, basically.
Yeah, it was a great time. And then the other thing is, Eva and I had to reset our Wi-Fi situation in the house, and we renamed finally our Wi-Fi network because it had just been like Spectrum 1-2 billion numbers.
Spectrum
after that.
ABQ53.
Yeah, and then we were like, "What are we gonna do it?" And she was like, "I got it." No joke, named it Emotional Support Caprice. So thank you, everybody. Spotlight to Katie for both the Discord channel, voice channel, and Emotional Support Capri Sun. So that's it. If anybody comes over, great. You end up getting our Wi-Fi. You will also connect to these guys. Wi-Fi powered by Capri Sun.
All right. Well, the week was, as always, I think the way that NWSL is starting is just great. It feels different.
It does.
It feels more exciting, and with all that excitement comes more chaos. So what do we got as chaos? Our chaos award for this week. So
there's 2. One funny one bullshit one. During the Kansas City match, coming out of halftime, the refs had to zip tie a hole in the net of the goal, and it was funny because on the broadcast, the commentators were like, "Did the ball go through that? Is that how that occurred? How did this occur?" Because they like pointed out the refs walk the field. Like before the game and at halftime, they walk the field, or before play starts the second half. Make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. The net is secure. Like things are safe, essentially. Like just kind of checking that everything is the way it should be. And then all of a sudden you just see like zip tie, like zoop, like, and the net is all like, it's not all nice and pretty and tied right. And everybody just kind of laughed and was like, how did this happen? Like, when did this happen? Because it didn't, like, players hadn't gone flying through the net. Like, what?
I rewatched the last play where they scored, and I was looking for the ball to be like, oh, it went through or something, and nobody noticed. But no, nothing happened. I think they mentioned that it might have been maybe the pyro. Because it was right by the supporters group.
Maybe so.
So it could have been, but I mean, at that point, it was like it happened during halftime. Nobody saw it, or it happened at the end of the half, and it didn't affect the play. So, but yeah, it's just really funny to see them like.
It felt very rec league soccer.
It felt very rec league, and I hate to say that, like when we know that the NWSL has been like, there's all these like ways of looking at it and trying to like delegitimize. Yeah. Like, but it's like, look, they're playing in purpose-built stadiums. Yeah. They're filling up.
It's like, this stadiums. Is the thing that happens. It was just really silly. And the timing was like, how and when and then, where?
For things like that, it's like, it's one of those things where you're trying to be like, oh, how do you fix this thing? What's the proper way to fix this thing? And it's like, honestly, just duct tape it. Or like just zip tie it. Like,
yeah.
Like that's just most straightforward way to fix it.
Get it done quick. It'll stay secure. You fix it after the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, and this, I have a terrible gut feeling that this is going to become prevalent in far too many places for different players, is the fact that during the Orlando Gotham game, stuff happened in the stands where people were coming after Barbara Bonda. And like, so to kind of give some backstory, there's a lot of really shitty things that happen in women's sports that kind of don't get talked about because they don't happen to a lot of people. They happen to very specific people. Most of the time it's Black women. Most of the time it's more masculine presenting Black women. In this case, Barbara Bonda was targeted for appearing more masculine because what happens is that sport as a whole has a very Eurocentric standard of body shape, body size, body type, hormonal levels, all kinds of things. Very white, very like male centered. So if there's discrepancy, and this happens a lot in the track and field world, which if you want to talk about this with me, I will talk about it forever because it makes me crazy. And it's starting to happen again. World Athletics is now implementing like mouth swabs for like gender hormone testing to make sure that you're actually a woman and your testosterone levels aren't too high. Or like, granted, this doesn't really happen to men. It just happens to women, but it's a whole thing and it's very awful. It for me, it goes beyond like sexism, transphobia, all that kind of stuff. It is disgusting behavior. It's eugenics at its base. It's awful. And it targets players a lot who come from Africa and African descent and all that kind of things because bodies are different depending on where you come from in the world. There's misogyny, there's misogynoir. Like there's so much that goes into why this occurs. But regardless, both teams, so Gotham and Orlando, put out statements like squashing the behavior. The Players Association put out a statement, and surprisingly, the league also put out a statement, which kind of blew everybody away because the league isn't necessarily quick to jump on that kind of stuff. And then the next question is, are they actually going to do anything about it? That's where I think the no is going to come in. And that's the part that pisses me off because
it's performative.
And
yeah,
if you're not keeping players like Barbara Bonda, Temwa Chawinga, like, because Chawinga's gotten it too. Barbara's just the latest. So like Temwa Chawinga's sister has spoken out about how much they've both gotten it throughout their careers. And it's like, for what? For who? For why? You're just mad that these women are better than you, and this is what you're grasping at this point. So part of this is also to blame. Like you can put blame towards J.K. Rowling at this point, especially for specifically Barbara Bonda stuff. So that's all.
It's so
that shit
hard.
doesn't fly here. I'm literally wearing my state champs like NWSL women's football shirt today because I thought about it this morning when I was getting ready for work and I got mad. So if you want this, it comes in English and Spanish, has a cool soccer field on the back. Statechamps.com. Go support Allie and Cass. Thank you. Bye.
And okay, to kind of reference, a point that Angela made here, where the surprise that the NWSL made a statement. It's not. It's one of those where like, great, you made the statement. It surprised everyone because nobody expected you to actually do anything. So like, yay, great, you did the very least.
Pretty much.
And is this going to end up being performative? Is this just going to be like, hey, we made a post on social media, like, or is shit gonna actually get done?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't have the answers of like what is enough
Yeah.
for it to be considered addressed.
Well, because
right?
it's hard because the next step is like, at what point, especially given everything that's going on in this country right now, at what point do players like Barbara Bonda and Thelma Chawinga have to weigh their options? And will one of those options be that they either need to change teams for safety reasons? Because Florida, sorry about it, but y'all are doing weird stuff, and so is Missouri. And Kansas City, like the Mahomes even. Like, you're voting against the interests of your team, of your players, because you're rich and bragging about it. So at what point? You can say, yeah, they're international players, but they're employees here in America, and it's getting dangerous for them, as it is for a lot of us.
And unfortunately, moving would help solve part of the problem to a more favorable, nicer work environment in another team, but you still have to go to those places to play. So you're still going to have to go to the Kansas City, to the Orlando game, like, you know. So it doesn't fully. And then just on the JK, like, what I do, you know, work Mario. I deal with signage, and I deal with a lot of like donors and things like that. And the number of times that in recent years has been a lot of taking down and renaming because of stupid shit that comes out from the not stupid shit coming out, but like the gross stupid things that people do
being
or have
finally
done.
exposed. Yeah,
they're finally exposed and being like, yeah, we don't want your name on our school. Like, you know, that type of stuff. And you know, we were just talking about like just artists, and like, you know, you may like their music, and it's like, do you separate the music from the artist? Can you even do that? There is a bit of like
weird,
especially when it's like a
area.
nostalgic thing. Like, can you separate the music from...
Millennials get nothing, for the record. Everything is being taken from us day by day by day. You know how much I listen to Nelly and how much I don't listen to Nelly anymore? He's a
like,
dilemma.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I was about to go off on something else, and then I mean, it sucks. This is complete bullshit, but I appreciate that the teams didn't drag their feet in making a statement, and there was like a statement from both teams like right away, pretty much, to say like, no,
like, this doesn't cut it in either of our stadiums, in either of our fan bases. We're not about this. And
then having the league come out, but again, I think it just also comes back to like, what is going to be done, or what's the plan? You know, this is one of the few times where having concepts of a plan might help to say like, hey,
I wonder how their group text is going. Anyway, let's go back to soccer because I got stuff to say.
Okay. All right. Well,
we'll
do the
with my friends.
Quick roundabout of scores in the rest of the league. So we were actually the very first match, and we ended up tying, and we'll get to that real quick. But the other matches that happened around the league, we have North Carolina losing against Seattle 2-1. We have the Spirit losing to Kansas City 0-2. The Wave beat Utah. Yay. 3-2.
I kind of wanted both of them to lose.
What?
I wanted both of them to lose.
Yeah. I wasn't saying yay for San Diego. I was saying yay for Utah losing. But we have Bay beating the Racing 2-0.
Also, that game was insane.
We have the Red Stars losing to the Dash 2-1. And then we have Gotham losing their home opener to Orlando 0-2. And that brings us to our own match, which we went up to Portland.
Yeah.
And we tied 1-1. We had a beautiful goal.
We did.
By Fuller.
Beautiful.
We had a
beautiful goal.
It was a beautiful roundabout Fuller house goal. No, that's forcing it. A beautiful turn and shot from almost the edge of the box, right?
Yeah, that goal was very Sid LaRue adjacent. Like, I'm sure you could go back in the archives and find an almost identical goal by Sid, because Kennedy does like a 360 or a 180. I don't even know. I can't think of it off the top of my head if she did half or a full circle, but knew exactly where she was and where she was lined up and just rocketed this thing in. And that is Sid's biggest thing when she talks about like why she can score. She's like, I always know where I am.
Yeah. Situational awareness. Just it was great. It was a rocket. It was a golazo. Like that just went.
It took the fans out of that stadium. Very quickly.
It was great, and that happened 9 minutes in. So we were pumped. I wasn't yet because I didn't get to watch till the second half. But watching the replay and everything like that, like everybody was pumped. And then 30 minutes in, Rylan Turner from Portland ends up scoring, which again I didn't see it because like I was walking in and out. I see the TV, I was like, ooh, we're winning. And then so that happened.
Yeah. It was raining. That game was fine. It was pouring. It was funny too because like it's one of those games where like the rain doesn't show up on TV until you get to like the lower field level shots. Or the zoomed in shots. The wide shot of the field doesn't really show the rain, so I didn't actually know it was raining for a while. It was at times it was pouring. Like it was one of those where you're watching and like I watch a lot of baseball, so like, and so does Eva, so we're used to watching games in the rain, and you rarely see the rain on camera. You might start to see like their jerseys get wet or whatever, but like you don't see the individual raindrops. When you are seeing the individual raindrops and it's not, like you said, not super zoomed in, it's not a really tight shot, something like that. It's like, oh shit.
I remember asking on the Discord like, oh wow, it kind of looks a little empty. And then the shot right after was like the rain. I was like, oh, okay, that's why.
We were all like, it's raining, Mario. Like, but yeah, like this game is weird because I feel like we could have or should have won the game. We had a bunch of opportunities, and I walked away being like, all right, it's fine, but I feel like we left points on the board. And I think the team kind of felt that way too. I'm grateful we came home with the point. Like always, we're not dropping points. Well, we kind of are, but like we aren't.
So
we're not losing.
The big difference between a tie in our first game was it felt very much like we didn't let ourselves get frazzled. We pushed back.
Yeah. We
played really hard the entire time, and we won. So that was a good tie. I would say this one was a begrudging tie. Yeah. Yes. This one, the other tie was one that you felt you deserved. Mm-hmm. This one was like we lost points. We really lost this one. But still glad. Yeah. Still glad that we got at least the point.
Yeah, because like I don't think last season we come back with a point because, and I think somebody mentioned it. We'll go over it later, but like we were last season, there was a lot of like we're up, then we're tied, and then we lose in the last like 10, 20 minutes of the game. We haven't done that, and I'm here for it. There's a lot that still can happen. From one, like I said, I think a couple episodes ago, last episode, I don't know, from one big inch to another, like the saves that Angelina had alone were fantastic. And even the goal she gave up, like some, like you can't always, like your weight's going to be on the wrong foot or whatever. Like it's, you can only move your body so much, but that last save she had, holy shit, like at the death, tipped the ball over the goal. Like everyone in the Discord, like in the voice channel, like we all were just like, Like the amount, the gasps, the collective. Oh my God. Like I can feel it in my body still. She's definitely the reason we came home with that point. Instead of like going down 2-1, it was her and Kennedy in the post-game presser. And they were just talking about the fact that's like, yeah, like we played really well, but we still have, like, we should win. We should have won this game.
Yeah.
Like we're there, but we're not quite there. Well, we're doing all right. We did talk a lot about, I think it was Cassandra and I don't remember who is who right now because my brain is pudding, but we were talking about how throughout its history, Angel City has not had a lot of consistency. Players, lineups, coaching, front office.
As I did my lineup breakdown last year.
There's been no consistency. So there's parts of the lineup that we all have questions about, but we had the same lineup 2 times in a row. And we used different subs. Which, hey, if it's something. We're building something. I don't know what it is, but we're building something. Mostly I'm just really curious what is going to happen with the midfield. Because it feels like there's some sort of a plan. But like the biggest question for me is Missy Hodge. Because I feel like she needs a little bit more time to cook to bridge the gap between college and the pros. And I'm going to talk about this more later. But like short term, I don't know if we start Katie Zellum over her and bring her in the second half, or like sub out at halftime, something. Or why we're not starting Katie. Like, is there a knock? Is there something we don't know about? Which is very possible. But I have questions about that situation.
I get it. I also think like it's a catch-22 of what you're trying to say of like, hey, she needs a bit more time to cook. She needs a bit more time to maybe transition that gameplay from college to the pros.
Because there's a half a step to a step delay.
But then do you hinder that by benching the player, right?
Exactly.
And like I said at the beginning in our first episode, and also in like our preview episode of the season, honestly, because of the playoff system, I think we can afford to keep this little experimentation kind of going for the first like maybe 3-4 matches.
We'll see. We'll also talk about that later.
Okay.
It's part of the preview.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, like we always do, we do our footy therapy post-match.
Oh, wait. One more thing. Why are we voting for player of the match at halftime? I don't understand it. There's still freaking 45 minutes minimum left of the game, because you get Kennedy Fuller, who scored in the first half, but then you have a save at the death.
You have amazing
by Angelina.
Yeah.
This is what my hand did. Like, I don't know. That's so weird to me. Player of the match, but only the first half. Like, or do first half, second half. I don't know. Fix that, please, somebody. Anyway, back to what Mario was saying.
All right, back to the footy therapy part of this. I did post up like I usually do on social media. Really, okay, I say social media like I'm posting it everywhere, just on Instagram. Looks like the rain in Portland washed away 2 of our points. How did you handle the rain? And, we got a lot of fun comments going in with this.
Oh, sorry. I was supposed to read that. Ethan came in with the haiku, came in hot, like ready to go. Need work on set piece. Both Kennedys, soul of the team. Fun season is here, which I do not disagree. And then Alicia said, well, we're still undefeated. Which is not wrong.
It's not wrong. Janthony came in with a post from Blue Sky that reposted itself, and then there was another repost on top of that, and then his comment. So I'm going to start from the original one, which was from Southern Silvis. Listen, LA
Sylvia
Silves?
is their name.
Sylvia, yeah. Okay, listen, LA loses that game last year, so there's that. Anderson may be very legit. And we've been on the Anderson train this whole time. Okay, so the repost on that goes, if this is the bar, massive yikes. 2 draws that leave plenty to be desired, but more concerning, zero idea what the way forward looks like. Crying face. And then Jantony in our Discord said, This is the reality. If the bar's on the floor, we're clearing it. Is this good? Well, it's not bad. I agree with the original.
Very large thoughts about a lot of things with this. I think people need to remember that this is a rebuilding year. And 2, LA is one of the most fickle sports towns. It's the second game of the season. Take a deep breath. Everyone, collectively, myself included. Nobody died. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about it. Yeah, we don't walk away with either of those points the last 2 games last season.
Nope.
At all. Does that mean the bar is low? Yes, but it also is an obstacle course because there are so many things that needed to be fixed between the offseason. Now things are still in the works.
Yeah. The bar is low because we're rebuilding.
Yes.
Because we have to rebuild. So, and rebuilding doesn't mean, throw the baby out with the bathwater. You can keep the original team and rebuild from there. Yeah. And that's kind of what we're doing. But you don't have to start from scratch. You can re-tinker what you have with the with a proper eventually head coach or Sam doing what he can right now, which seems to be, I'm not going to say absolutely working, but it seems to be building up to a good thing. So I mean, again, match number 2. Come on. Come on, guys.
And also just as a reminder, Savvy King got to Angel City during / after Coachella. There were late add-ons and people who had knocks early in spring training that came back later on. Things are still getting figured out, and they're getting figured out relatively quickly, but it sucks. It sucks to not have a winning team, but I don't think that's a reason to completely throw it all away 2 games in.
Yeah. So I agree with Jantony. I'm saying it's not good, but it's not bad.
Right.
The fact that, our bar is this low, and that's just, we can only go up from here. Mm-hmm. Cassandra came in by singing Blame It on the Rain by Milli Vanilli. And then we had a nice fun conversation about who needs explanation.
Yeah,
about
who we
Milli
had
Vanilli.
to expose our age to.
Also threw out Super Duper Fly by Missy Elliot, and then I had to also chime in with I've also had to explain Missy Elliot to people, and I'm just this is.
For those who don't know, Mario and I and Mario's wife Jen saw Missy Elliot in concert last year. Mario saw me lose my absolute total shit multiple times that night.
I have it on video.
He does. It's absolutely fantastic. Easily top 5 concerts of my lifetime.
It was
so you think Missy Elliott is good? Bet.
All right, Katie. So last year, what seemed to happen so often is we would be tied, all of us holding our breath till the end. Inevitably, the last 5 minutes, ACFC would ACFC. And the other team would win by 1.
Yep.
Guys, we haven't ACFC'd in 2 matches. I don't think I can use that verb accurately at this point in our current season. We have held the other team to a tie. I'm stoked. That's progress.
I think, too, a lot of people see that the team has a different fire underneath them. It's not there's not a complacency vibe of well, this is what it is. It's no, we can rewrite the narrative right now. We fix this now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Eva also came in with, personally, I think it's a huge deal that after giving up both goals, we held it down for the rest of the game. Previous years, we have given up 2 more goals. Given that this backline didn't even have a preseason together, I'll take it. Midfield and front line look different as well and already looked better from last week. I feel optimistic.
Yep.
And then we have just a few more from Instagram. We have Mirna coming in with Anderson was the player of the match in my honest opinion. And I kind of agree. Like, you know, that's the famous quote of like, yeah, goals are fun.
Defense wins games.
Defense wins games. This literally was one of the reasons we won, or at least held on to this match.
Yeah.
And Jeff also comes in. Angelina Anderson was a ball umbrella most of the game, kept us in it, and should have been the player of the match. She stepped up big. And yeah. And then our new friend, Eric, he is the host of the Dash Dispatch, which is the Houston Dash podcast. He's a neutral in this match, right? Which is always a good way to also get the perspective of someone else. We're heavily invested in Angel City winning.
Heavily.
Heavily. But he came in with like, hey, that was a really fun match to watch. So as a neutral, he enjoyed that match, which is to say, you know, these games, like we said, have not been boring. The start of the season has been really great all the way around. So I'm here for it. Let's keep going. Let's keep the momentum going.
Yeah. So you ready to talk about this weekend? Take a breath.
Yes and no, only because I'm not going to be there that week.
I know. So
yeah.
But, like I said, three sets of tickets that we know of are up for grabs. You can sit in Mario seats. You can come hang out with me, or you can sit in somebody else's seats downstairs. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So Angel City wise, like overarching ideas is that we need to start winning. The league moves so fast and parity just is there so heavily that it's starting to shift that for us to continue to be a second half of the season team is going to be a problem. So yes, it's still the game 2, but we need to right the ship faster so that we can stand a chance come the second half of the season. Because you can't, like last season, we dug too low to come back up. We need, like right now we're in 8th place with 2 draws. We need to stay there or higher, which means we need to keep winning or start winning and keeping teams to a tie.
There was a really funny meme that I believe Attacking Third put out. And I believe all of them were White Lotus characters. I don't watch the show, but I understood what they were doing. And it was like the happy couple with like the one team that has 2 wins.
Yeah.
I believe there's
I saw that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And then it goes down. We're on the like second to last one because, you know, we've drawn twice. And then we have the Red Stars all by themselves because they're the only team that have lost twice.
This season's going to be rough for them. I hope Mal's okay. Like, I hope Alyssa Nair's doing okay. Like, she's just getting worked. And yeah. But I think we really need to kind of become a 3/4 of the season team. You know, like...
I mean, as we've been saying, at least we haven't lost yet.
Yes.
And we're at least gaining some points out of what we've done so far.
Yeah.
We'd be in a way bigger hole if we were Chicago.
Yeah, because they have a very large goal differential at this point, 2 games in. We don't, which is a saving grace right now. We may have made up a 4-goal goal differential 2 seasons ago in the last game, but I won't do that again. I would like to stay on the positive side of goal differential. But no, I think that's going to be the biggest thing is that we need to figure out how to stop dropping points that are achievable. There's going to be games where it's like, it's just not clicking. It happens. Like, they're human. Weird things happen. The universe does things. But I think if we can like lock it in by mid-April and then go from there, I think we'll be okay. Which I think we could, honestly. I really think we could. My second biggest thing is that after we score, we have to figure out how to hold the line a little tighter. Because, like, granted, we did that in that first match. We went down, we came back and equalized, and we held it. We had a couple chances. It was the first game. Whatever. It was like like freshman of high school, first day of school, where you're just like freaked out and everybody's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, that's what it felt like that game. But this one, we had chances. I wish we could have scored again. The last like 10 minutes of that match was insane. It was just like, and you're in the attacking third. No, now you are. And just the ball was going back and forth. It felt like ping pong. It was very strange. But we've made progress in the sense that we're not leaking goals after we score.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, cool. Let's get a clean sheet. After last weekend, Angie deserves it. Like she deserves a clean sheet after like pew, 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 you know, like getting all the
saves. I want to say the 2 goals that have gone in.
That first game was so lame. Like, and I shouldn't use that word. I just can't think of another one. And I'm sorry. It just was lackluster.
It was a dink of a goal.
Yeah.
Because it literally just went like dink. Like, I don't think anybody was really shooting it. It was more of a fluke.
Yeah. At least that's what it felt like. Goal.
Yeah. So, and unfortunately, those dinks and fluke type goals, like, you honestly can't do anything about them because they were just.
Yeah. And the box
even
was
the
crowded.
Shooting player didn't even know it was going to go
yeah.
in. So.
The box was crowded. A lot of people were in her line of sight, that kind of thing. Last weekend.
And then this goal, same kind of deal where, like, you know, it was a goal. Look, it was really
solid.
wasn't. It was a solid one. But, you know, you can't really blame her on that. Like, there are goals where you can be like, you know, that was 100% your fault. But, you know, the fact that she was doing so well for that entire match tells you that goal was just a good one. There's just some goals you can't stop.
Exactly.
Know? So,
yeah. And then after that, like, we need to lock down the midfield, figure out who's going to step up in different places. I think I understand the Missy Hodge experiment. I say experiment because she's a rookie. Like, she's a fantastic player. It's just a matter of what's going on right now. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze and I'm trying not and like hold it in. But overall, like, we need to figure out the system in the midfield, which we've been saying as long as we've had this podcast. But I think we look a lot better than we have in the last couple seasons. Could I be wrong? Sure. We don't know. But that's how I feel about it. My Seattle preview is a little different than normal. Especially, I was going to have this player on my list regardless, but then she went and scored a freaking banger of a goal. Like, texted to me, Instagram, like, did you see this? Did you see this? I'm like, yes, I know. I'm talking about her. Like, calm down. Jordan Bug on Seattle annihilated a goal. It was so dope. Like, it was one of those where you're like, oh, hell yeah. And then you're like, wait, we play her on Sunday? Damn it. Like, yeah. But she's had a fantastic run with Seattle so far. Between her and Lynn, we have to, I mean, Lynn I don't know if she'll be available for this game. She's got a little bit of a knock, but like, from the jump, those are people you have to shut down regardless. I'm going to talk about Lynn Biandolo because she's Lynn. She's Linny. She's Lynn Williams. She's Lynn. Like, the Lynn Biandolo. I keep wanting to say Williams and it's really difficult. But the story of her changing her last name is really sweet because she was talking to her family about it. And her husband's family, like, there's like less than 100 of them with their last name. And her dad was like, Williams? Like, no, who cares? Like, everybody, like, this is such a common last name. Like, I don't care. Go be part of something so wonderful and so uncommon, which I think is really sweet because now it's like, there's one more person in the world with that last name. And everything from her wedding was wonderful. But Jordan Bug is a revelation and we got to be careful. Our defense is going to have their work cut out for them regardless. Seattle came out of the gates hot. It's a very, like, wild start to the season because a lot of people were like, I don't know what's going to happen with Seattle because there's a lot of changes. Sierra King's gone. Pino's gone. Like, there's so much that's different. People have retired. There's a shift happening in Seattle. But as Ali Krieger said in, like, 2023 or something around there, Your team gets 100% better when you add Lynn. So it's Lynn Williams. Whether or not she's on the pitch doesn't matter. She's still influencing the team. And that's something that I don't want to say people forget, but it can be overlooked, is somebody's veteran presence in the locker room, mentoring presence, hype, like all that. Like there's so much to say about Lynn. I could be here for hours and then I just cry, and then we're not doing that tonight. My goal is to not go 3 for 3 because I know what's coming up and I know what will happen. And then last but not least, we talk about her every season because I love her as a player. She's an NWSL lifer. Jess Fishlock is wonderful. She's from Wales. She plays for the Welsh national team. She's married to Sierra King. They are the most beautiful couple. I just want to be her friend because she seems super cool. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, no, you're just fun. And I think it'd be neat to hang out. But she's also really, really good. Those who are newer to the NWSL through Angel City, you may remember a couple seasons ago, she scored on us and then did the chicken dance, which felt really infantilizing at the time. But after the game, she did say that she had been doing that with her nephew, who's like her favorite person. So she did that for him so he could see her do that on the pitch. And I was like, fine, I guess that's fine. But
Fine, can you just save it for the next one?
I know. But she's a fantastic player. She's always a threat. Seattle is perpetually good. They're another one of those teams where even when it might seem like they're down and out, they're going to dig deep and find a way.
Seattle is another one of the, like, just the Pacific Northwest is just soccer
powerhouse.
Soccer powerhouses. They're, no matter them being in a building year or being at the top of their game, they're always they're like a lock for playoffs. Like even now, where everybody was where the conversation around it was like, there's a question mark.
We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but like you always end that question mark with, but they're probably going to make the playoffs because they always do. And yeah, so it's both a good and bad thing that I'm missing the game, right? Like it's going to be a nerve-wracking game, but it's so yeah. But okay, let's talk about our we'll be at home, so we get to see our own players up and close.
So the Band-Aid was ripped off. Finally, everyone I think took a deep breath. Kristen Press subbed in the second half.
Which, having her sub in, if like they were being like careful, having her sub in the rain on turf.
I know. I don't know. I don't know. But granted, we don't know her training plan. We don't know what the decision was. But yeah, she made her season debut in Portland. She'll be there. And like I said, we have to kind of temper our expectations of how much and how often she's going to play, because that's up to her. She might say, like, I don't have it today. I'm in a lot of pain today. Injuries don't adhere to a schedule as much as you want them to. So we'll see what happens. I have a lot of grace for her and her recovery because I know what that feels like multiple times. So like yesterday it was like 80 degrees. Today it was foggy and cold down here, and my ankles, my hips, my shoulders, like every part of my body hurt because the weather swung 15 degrees in 12 hours. So
yeah, and it doesn't
feel good, guys.
Our weather barometers.
Very definitely. Much so. Yeah, like, whoa, pretend earthquake. I'm essentially a barometer. Like my ankle needs to crack so bad and it's not. I've just been in pain all day. Whatever. So the question of it all, Missy Hodge, is she good? Is she worth the risk? Is what is happening? I'm going to run through not even all of her accolades, just a handful.
This is just a handful?
This is legitimately, even I went through like her whole collegiate career. This is just
I'm looking at the notes in the script and I'm like, okay.
It's also indented a lot, so it just makes it way longer. Okay, so she went to Mississippi State. She played in the SEC. If you know anything about college sports, the SEC is a powerhouse conference. Football, basketball, doesn't matter. I feel bad for the players from Mississippi State women's basketball because of what happened the other night against USC. Best wishes to Juju Watkins to feel better and get through surgery okay. And stop being shitty to players who didn't foul her hard. They just fouled her and then she got hurt on the way down. Whatever. Anyway, Macy Hodge. So she was a finalist for the 2024 Mac Herman Trophy, which meant she was also the first in Mississippi State soccer history, I believe both men's and women's programs, to get nominated for the trophy. She started all 21 matches and accrued over 1,700 minutes that season. Defensively, that team, so like her senior team, only allowed 2 goals the whole season.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. She was named SEC Midfielder of the Year, All SEC First Team honoree. The team won its first ever SEC regular season championship with a perfect record. It had only been done by 3 other teams in the conference. She was named to the United Soccer Coaches 2024 Women's Midfielders to Watch. She was voted as a team captain her sophomore year. So her sophomore season, she was a captain. So she's got the goods.
Yeah.
You know, that first year on the team, she played attacking mid, defensive mid, and a center back. So there's some stuff happening. She's got a little, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word when you can do multiple things?
She's a not a switchblade.
What is the word? Oh my God.
Swiss Army knife.
Okay, that's one way to say it. It's not what I was trying to say, but yes, she can do many things.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah. Still not what it was.
Still not.
She can do she can play multiple positions. She can do a lot of different things. In 2022.
I'm leaving all of that in too.
Huh?
I'm leaving all of that in too.
In 2022, she started every game and helped them secure their first NCAA tournament match win in program history. She then earned, in 2023, she earned first team All SEC. 2023, they also had a semifinal appearance and went to the 3rd round of the playoffs. Like, she is essentially like Mississippi State soccer royalty at this point. She finished her college career with 97 appearances. 96 of them were starts, which is the most in program history. And maybe she just needs a little bit more time to cook. It depends what kind of program she'd been playing in. Obviously, she was very accustomed to that for playing that much. So I think, like I was saying earlier, like I see the logic, but the question I have is, do we have the time? Granted, we're 2 games in. I'm not like, I feel like I'm a tin hat wearer right now. Like, but the question is is her trajectory of transition, so her transition trajectory, that's very hard to say, such that the time that she is taking her to adjust is that fine? Do we have that leeway? Do we have that time? Or do we need to adjust to get results now while she still builds that up? That's the biggest question, truly, that everybody's asking in a million different ways, whether it's like, why isn't this person starting? Why is she starting? Why is this? It's like the question is all being asked. Do we have the time to allow her to adjust to the professional, high-speed, very transitional game? Or do we need the results right now? That's it. She's got the goods. It's just a matter of adjusting them for the NWSL.
I'm in the camp of, yes, we do have time. Look, I know we're a team in LA. I know that the expectations are very, very high, especially the way the last 3 years went. Like, the expectations were high already when we started. And
sorry, I'm delusional. I'm so tired. Anyway, go ahead.
The expectations were high already when we started, and we didn't deliver a bunch of reasons. It feels like everything in the universe was against this team functioning the way it was supposed to function. Mm-hmm. Like, it, on paper, every single year on paper, we've been a great team.
Yeah.
And the universe has not let us be that
Just
team.
let us be great.
And I think level setting, I'm going to speak to all fans, all Angel City fans here, myself included. We've been talking about this level setting. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Setting our expectation. It's not setting our expectations low because we don't feel that they can achieve much, and so we're like, oh, we're just going to start at the bottom. It's setting the expectations to a more realistic level.
Yeah.
And that realistic level, and that doesn't mean that it's absolute like ground floor, like we suck. It's we have to understand the situation and let them cook. And as the casual fan, I completely know that you're not going to know a lot of this stuff, a lot of this background. You're not going to know that, hey, what happened to that one player with the pink hair that I saw a couple years ago? Like, why isn't she playing? It's like, yeah, she completely
is.
injured
She's
and went through surgery.
Yeah.
And there's backstory to all of this stuff. And that's what we're here for. But we're also here to say, let's temper that like expectation and know that we didn't give the team time to cook last year.
Yeah.
Last year, the lineups changed every single match. We didn't have a consistent lineup.
Yeah.
So the fact that we did have this consistency 2 in a row already is like...
It's like, oh my God. Yeah. And that's why I was like, oh, there's actual like consistency in like, we're going to trust the process. It's going to be a little weird.
Yeah.
But like I said, when is the time for us to get weird? Literally immediately. Straight out of the gate, because what do we have to lose?
Yeah. So I think she has time to cook. I think 4th, 5th match, if we're still kind of like haven't figured it out, still middling, then we worry.
Yeah.
I still think we've got time. And looking at this freaking list up from Missy, I'm like,
and even
honestly,
honestly,
she'll figure it out.
I do want to say, like, even if this season isn't the season where she makes it like 100%, she'll get there. Like, I have full faith in that. I watched a couple clips of her in college and I was like, oh, we all right.
It's her rookie season.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
There's also the adjustment period. And that was like another thing I wanted to talk about. Like, I'm going to quickly mention both Kennedy Fuller and Casey Fair. I can't talk. My brain gone.
We've been mashing up names too many times. Alana Kennedy Fuller.
Yeah, there's been Alana Kennedy Fuller, Allie Riley Tiernan, like all kinds of stuff. But so Kennedy Fuller, she scored last week, assisted the goal the week before. She recently talked about how she's not doing the space buns every game, because she doesn't want to get into like super superstitious stuff, and like she wants to have a more healthy mindset around the game. And I cannot express to you, both you, Mario, and anybody else who wants to listen, and myself, how healthy that is. When competing, I don't want to say very superstitious, but a lot of stitious. Like, I was stitious, at least. At the very least, like I had a specific, because I'm allergic to grass, and as a shot put and discus thrower, like you're just chilling on the grass. I'm like, cool. So I had a very specific blanket I used, like very specific things, but a lot of it was just like the routine I built too, because like I knew the size of the blanket, so I knew how much space I had, and like if I had to like adjust it, that kind of thing. Yeah, and I think, like, if you watch baseball, like you watch a batter get into the batter's box and it's like 900, like Shohei pisses me off because it's like flick, 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 flick of his batting glove, flick, 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 flick of the other hand. And then it's like shift, shift, shift. I'm like, oh my God, get it together. You don't need to do all that.
I'm just thinking Garcia Parra, like,
oh yeah,
like
the Noma, yeah, so much. And a lot of it is like breath count, and like there's other stuff that goes with that, but it can get really unhealthy really quickly because there's a lot of neurodivergent tendencies that can like feed off that. And if you fall into one of the mini buckets that it could be, that can trigger other stuff. Like there's so much that goes into that. And that decision of her just to do her hair differently as she sees fit is such a sign of maturity. Like you
No, it is.
I did my hair the exact same way every game for basketball in high school. Every single track meet from high school to college. Like I did not like don't mess up my system. So I was stitious. But yeah, there's a lot that happens in rookie seasons and like your first couple of years that goes unspoken and like undiscussed because it's very private. Casey Fair was recently on the Urban Pitch podcast. I don't know if you saw this clip at all, but she's talking about her mindset between last season and this season. And she talked a lot about how nervous she was last season. She didn't talk to people. She didn't engage with the team because she was terrified.
Yeah, she was she's still a child. Like it's like
yeah.
And I don't want to start this whole conversation about like they're too young to be playing in a professional sport against women or what. Like if you're good enough to play on the pitch, you're going to be on the pitch. Like that's simple as that. But it's intimidating.
But like a 14-year-old started, and as like a 30-something, you're not gonna. I would feel so uncomfortable bodying a child into the sun, like because it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen,
and that feels icky. But that's not the conversation we're having now.
Okay, it's not that conversation. But I completely understand the point of view that she has.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I'm a child here, a teenager among these
whole ass ago
these women. Like, but even like Kennedy Fuller, like yes, it's one of her peers, but it's still like someone who's older, out of school, like that type of.
It's different. And she talked about how scary it was and how she didn't feel comfortable or confident with headers. So she didn't. So she wasn't aggressive. Like she's like, I wasn't playing soccer the way I normally play soccer because I was so scared, which now looking back on last season makes so much sense. She wasn't showing up the way she was hoping to show up because she was letting that fear and that anxiety and like all of those thoughts that we all get into when you're nervous. Mm-hmm. She was letting that get louder than like the truth. And she said that the vets, so Sid, Chris and Press, and she mentioned one other person I can't think of right now, but she's like, no, they were crucial in like pulling me out of that and just being like, no. She said she worked with Sid in the off season, like header. When she scored at Coachella, Sid was like, see, like we told you. And so I'm really excited to see how that transpires this season, to see if she's getting more of that confidence back at training so that she can come in and be a difference maker or start a match. You know what I mean? Like it's going to take time regardless to kind of break that thought cycle. But the fact she's talking about that out loud is huge. Because like I said, after the first game, she was hyping up Alyssa like, no, just because you didn't take that one chance doesn't mean you're not going to get another one. Doesn't mean you're not going to do that again. Doesn't mean you're going to make it this time. So like she's doing that for other people. It's sinking in. Yeah. And just made me really happy.
And it's just going to take, again, the same thing we're talking about Missy, it's going to be the minutes, and her being able to get on the pitch is going to be a huge growth moment for her.
I mean, she's making game day rosters. She wasn't doing that last season.
She wasn't doing that.
That's already a huge difference. And like we kind of joked that we were going to make like, milk cartons like missing. Have you seen Casey Fair kind of thing? Like what's going on? Because everybody was like
mainly because we couldn't even see her on the
sidelines,
the game day roster.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't even there. Like if. Yeah, it was just like, cause so she felt like she was completely missing, but I'm hoping that this mentality shift and, this kind of confidence boost of just being around these players already for a year, and being able to have an off season with them
and like learning how the league works and how the team works and all that. Like there's so much to learn,
and just being like, look, you did really well. You have the skills. Look what you did with your national team.
Yeah.
Look what you were doing internationally. You could do that. Mm-hmm. You're capable of it.
Yeah.
It's a completely different environment, but you are capable of it. And then, once that clicks, I think it's going to be great. And then, hopefully we get to see more minutes. And you know what? why not do it on a nice sunny day at home at BMO?
But yeah, that's my little preview of Angel City and who to look out for. I think there's a lot to discuss this season already. So it's just a matter of really locking it down, figuring out the midfield, and just letting them cook and letting them get used to each other, which I hope we're going to see big time on Sunday. We have a lot of history with the Reign because of the Challenge Cup and all the things where we played every team 14 times, or every West Coast team 14 times, it felt like. Across regular and playoffs, because the one playoff appearance we did have, we played the Reign. We are 2 wins, 0 draws, and 5 losses against them. Overall, it's 2 wins, 1 draw, and 8 losses. So I would like a win. I will settle for a draw. No more losses.
No more losses. No more losses. Okay, well, that was our preview of our upcoming match against the Seattle Reign this Sunday, the 30th, at BMO Stadium. Again, 5 o'clock kickoff time. It's going to be on the CBS Sports Network, so go to a bar and be able to watch it with some friends if you can't be at the stadium. Or listen to it on the radio with iHeartRadio. Isaac and Tracy always do an amazing play-by-play. Isaac just has an amazing play-by-play voice and speed and cadence, and it's great to listen to him. And Tracy's insight from being a player, from being a broadcaster, all of that is they just are perfect together. And remember, it is the theme night of a women's history celebration, so there's going to be an honoring of some women's national team players at this match.
I think there's also a giveaway. I think it's a cape.
No, that's Mother's Day. That's
right. I was like, I know it has something to do with women.
This one's just going to be the ceremony, but either way, it's a Sunday game. Make it early. Go to the tailgate. Go hang out. There probably isn't going to be a fan fest, but that usually means that there is a street fair, which means there might be like a taco truck or two there. And if there's not, don't worry. The SG's got you. They've got tailgates going. They have food going for, a small donation to them and everything. And go make new friends. It's all fun. So yeah, if you're still listening, you've probably like what you're hearing. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button wherever you're watching us or hearing us from. Check out casualfc.com for all the pod links if you want to find something else to subscribe to. Like I said, we're on YouTube and on Spotify in video. Follow us on all our socials. It's Casual FC Pod on all of them, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, and casualfc.com on Blue Sky. And like we said at the very top of the episode, we have a Discord. It's on all our social bios. Come join us. It's really fun. Lots of fun banter, lots of great information. We have some really great people in there that are complete experts and are breaking stuff down for us. And then there's me and the casuals that are just like awesome, good vibes. So
we also have a fantasy league going. So
there's also a fantasy league. So if you happen to be in the She Plays fantasy, if you built your fantasy team there, you can always jump into ours also. I don't know if the points will transfer or if you just start from week 3. I don't know. But we have that going too. And then, help us by supporting the pod. Best way to support the pod, the free way to do it, is share, like, or comment on any one of our posts on social media or specifically on an episode. Go to Apple Podcasts, go to Spotify, leave a comment. Apple Podcasts, you can rate and review. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe and do all that good stuff that most YouTubers tell you to do. It's going to help us out. Leave a comment, and most of the time we comment back, so it's all good. It helps build the algorithm. If you do want to help us out with a little bit of fun merch, we do have a merch store, shop.casualfc.com. We have some fun stuff that we're putting out. We just put out over the weekend a fun Lego build your own ACFC Lego themed shirt.
Built for LA moment.
I think it's awesome. It was fun. It was a fun idea to come up with and kind of work over the last couple weeks. And so hopefully you guys like it too. There's other merch there too, with our Pride logo and our coffee mugs and all that good stuff. And if you want to also help us out, but don't necessarily need other items in your house, you can help us out by buying us a coffee. Check out the link in our bio or buymeacoffee.com/casualfcpod. Throw us $1 or $2. It helps us with what we're doing, and it helps us just kind of keep going. Tell a friend about the pod. It always brings us good luck. We bank that good luck and we send it off to the team wherever they're going to be playing. They're going to be playing at home, so it's going to be really easy. Angela will just take it in a bag and hand it to the team.
Yeah, I'll just put it in my little clear bag and be like, guys, I have it. Like orange slices or something. Orange slices and Capri Suns.
Yes. All right. And with that, thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you at the game.
See you Sunday.
Bye.